decades have passed since they lost Freddie, yet time has never truly softened the ache. Brian still finds himself pausing in quiet moments, almost expecting to hear that unmistakable voice echo through the room. It feels impossible that so many years have gone by since those final days, days filled with courage, music, and a silent understanding that their journey together was nearing its end.
Went on right to the very end of days with Freddie. Freddie was saying, in those very last hours, write me more stuff, write me more lyrics, write me more stuff.
Brian May and Freddie Mercury were never just bandmates. They were two powerful forces who collided, created, and sometimes hurt each other, not out of hatred, but out of passion. In the studio, nothing was simple. Freddie could be demanding. Perfection wasn't optional, it was expected. Brian could be meticulous, protective of every note he wrote. They argued, voices rose, pride clashed. There were moments of frustration, moments of distance, moments where neither wanted to give in. But beneath every disagreement was something deeper, trust. They challenged each other because they knew the other could handle it. They fought because they both cared too much to settle for ordinary.
But at that point, we're trying it out, and it's difficult. I've written something which, as Freddie told me, is always impossible. He said, you always write me stuff which is impossible to sing because it's too high or it's too low or whatever.
When Freddie's health began to decline, the fire that once fueled their creative battles grew quiet. The arguments that once filled recording rooms slowly faded into something heavier, something unspoken. Brian later shared how difficult it was to watch the man who once commanded stadiums begin to weaken physically, but never spiritually. Freddie didn't want pity. He didn't want sympathy. He wanted to keep working.
We actually did give it up when Freddie died, and we felt, we'd always said if one of us goes, that's it. So Roger and I both went out kind of grieving to the max and saying, it's over, we don't even want to talk about it for quite a long time.
Even when walking became harder, even when his body betrayed him, even when the future felt painfully short, he would come into the studio and say, let's do it, darling. And Brian would stand there, knowing time was slipping, trying to stay strong. There were no more competitions, no more egos to defend, no need to win an argument. Only presence, only gratitude, only two men who had built something immortal, now facing something painfully mortal. In those final days, their bond softened. What once burned with intensity became quiet understanding. Sometimes there were no grand speeches, just silence shared between them. The world saw icons, rock legends, larger-than-life figures, but behind closed doors, it was something much simpler. A friend watching another friend fade, a brother holding on to moments that couldn't be repeated, a goodbye that neither of them was ready to say. And when Freddie was gone, what remained wasn't the arguments, it wasn't the pride, it wasn't even the fame. It was love, it was memory, it was the echo of a voice that would never truly disappear. And for Brian, that silence after the music stopped was louder than any stadium they had ever filled. Brian watched him fight, not with anger, but with artistry. Even when his body was weakening, his voice carried a strength that felt almost supernatural, recording through pain, smiling through uncertainty, determined that the music would outlive him. And it did. But survival has its own weight. Decades later, Brian still carries that weight.
Freddie was like a brother to us, of course, and the partnership lasted longer than any of our marriages at the time. It was very close, and losing Freddie was a very difficult thing for us all to get over.
Every performance without him is both tribute and ache. Every harmony sung by the crowd is beautiful and incomplete. Freddie may have left this world, but his voice never did. It lives in stadiums that shake with thousands singing words he once whispered into a microphone. It lives in headphones pressed close to someone who needs courage. It lives in every heart that sings along, not just to the melody, but to the spirit behind it. Time took the man, but it could not take the brotherhood. It could not take the laughter backstage. It could not take the sound of two musicians looking at each other mid-song and knowing this is magic. For Brian, the silence after Freddie was not empty. It was filled with echoes. And in those echoes, the voice remains, not fading, not breaking, just waiting for the next chorus. Because some friendships don't end, they simply change stages.
It affected us all very deeply, and I think we all went through a long grieving process where we didn't want to talk about it and we didn't want to be associated with Queen. It's like, yes, that was this part of our life, now it's finished.
In my defense, what is there to say?
Years have passed. The world kept spinning. Tours resumed. Stages filled again. And Brian stepped into the light. Older, quieter, changed. Grief did not stop him. It reshaped him. There is a certain strength that only comes from standing beside greatness and then learning to stand without it. Brian learned that strength, not by forgetting, not by replacing, but by continuing. Today, when he plays, there is no attempt to recreate the past, no attempt to compete with memory. What they had belongs to its time, brilliant and untouchable. What remains now is stewardship. A guardian of songs, a keeper of moments, a man who understands that legacy is not something you cling to, it is something you carry forward. Freddie's final days were not the end of their story, they were the turning of a page, and Brian, with steady hands and a weathered heart, kept writing. The stage lights still rise, the guitar still answers, the music still moves, not because nothing was lost, but because something was left behind worth protecting. And so he walks forward, not looking back in sorrow, but ahead with purpose. That is how legends are honored, not by standing still, but by continuing to play. They simply change stages.
I want to thank each one of you for watching this video until the end. Your time and support truly mean a lot to me. Thank you from my heart. This is an open channel for your thoughts and feelings. Please share your ideas and reflections in the comment section below. Your voice matters here. Your engagement makes this journey more meaningful. If you enjoy my work, you can send a super thanks, leave a like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps me keep creating stories that inspire and connect us all. This is Legend Story TV, where every story reminds us that life is short, but when lived with passion and purpose, it becomes eternal in the hearts of those we touch.